Okay. All right. Woo! All right, Black Box Radio. We are in the box. This
Yes.
is the sister circle. All of this brownness. I'm feeling good today. It is all good. We're about to talk to the people. This is Black Box Radio. We are a media platform for Black excellence. We platform Black people. We expose the world to Black genius, and we disseminate information about the Black community to Black people and everybody. And we also, the most important thing we do is we humanize the experience of being Black in America. It can be a haunted experience. It can be a beautiful experience, but it is an experience. We're coming off of seeing 10 African American people slaughtered for no reason. And people don't understand why we're scared, why we're going through the trauma that we go through. You cannot go to the grocery store where someone drives 200 miles to slaughter you. It is the most... It's awful, but this is what's happening to our existence. So people have to see the full story of us, and that we're not just what someone says we are. We are so many things, and we do so many things, and we're just great people. And so I want to introduce. I just introduced myself, but I'm going to introduce my panel. I have, of course, this is the FiTT TWiNz segment. It's called FiTT TWiNz Time. Damn it, let's power up, Amadi. How to power up. This is FiTT TWiNz Time. This is the place for ladies where we talk, where ladies come together. Sometimes we have some males in the box, but it's really women centered, and we talk about fitness, health and wellness, dieting, all those good things. You know, Amadi gets after it because she's the fit and I'm the twin. So we're about to go about this. So FiTT, can you introduce yourself, Miss FiTT?
Hello, family. My name is Amadi, aka the Belly Therapist and founder of FiTT Tribe Wellness, where I help moms feel better about themselves while healing their bellies through personal training, online fitness classes, and belly therapy. That's me.
Wow, that's amazing. And you listen, you know, these bellies, especially after COVID-19, we got belly jellies now. Come got to come at y'all, got to see my girl. Hit her up. Get these bellies out of here. It's summertime.
Yes,
No,
that's right.
that's right. No belly Nelly. No belly Nelly. Get it done. Get it done. So anyway, tonight we're doing something different, which really isn't different. It's still fitness, and you know, mentally, fitness has so many different applications. Definitely, we have, of course, just your physical fitness, but there's a mental fitness. You know, some people need spiritual fitness. You know, it's a lot of different applications to being fit in something you believe in, and mental fitness is a big thing, especially for young people. And when I went to college, let me tell you something. When I went to college, I went to an HBCU, and when you're young and you're leaving your parents and you're coming to a place and you know nobody like I did, it is very hard to acclimate. Because you're coming to a place you don't know, your roommate you don't know, the people, the food, you don't know nothing. You're just leaving a very structured, supportive environment to come to this environment that is really not as structured. You have a lot of agency in it, and you don't know anybody. So we have tonight Miss Renee. Is it Latchman? I don't want to say
it is. You got it.
Miss Renee Latchman, and she is just so amazing. She's going to talk about herself, but she started this thing. She started a thing, and we're going to talk about the thing. So welcome, Renee. Introduce yourself to the Black Boxes.
Hello, everyone. I am Renee Latchman. It is a pleasure, a real honor, actually, very humbling experience to be here on Black Box. And I just want to thank Queen and Amadi for inviting me to come and be a part of their sharing the Black experience. It's really, I really want to applaud what y'all are doing. This is very, very important, giving or Black Voices a platform. And sometimes we can't find that. And it's just so good to see that there are multiple platforms, and DaBoXX is one of them, and it's growing. And I just hope it will continue to grow exponentially. So thank you again for the opportunity to be here. I do not like to talk about myself.
Well, you will tonight.
I don't like to talk about myself, but I consider myself as a writer, a mentor, and an educator. And those are three very important identities for me, and identities that have helped me in my journey, in America, right? And as an educator. And so one of the things that the mentor part was, that's in the middle. The writer was always there, and education was always there, but mentor kind of came unexpectedly, and really just out of a desire to love on some people. And I never really saw myself as a mentor, but then, some identities just kind of come to you, and so that's kind of what happened with my mentoring program. So that's me.
That's you. Well, it's more than you. You're gonna give us just a little more. We need just a little more. So one thing I want to say about you.
I was gonna say, first of all, we need to know where your accent is from.
Thank you. You got to give us that accent. Where that's coming from?
Okay. I don't sound like Baltimore.
Everybody know, but where's it coming from?
So I am Jamaican, very proud.
Boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop. We got a yachty girl. Boop, 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 boop.
That's right. Yes, I'm from Jamaica.
Okay.
And what else? That's where my accent is from.
Okay.
I try sometimes not to speak as Jamaican as I would like to, because sometimes I speak and people are like, huh? So, but anyway, I'm a mom of two. I'm married with a mom of two, with two kids. I have a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. A 17-year-old who just graduated. Congrats to my son.
Congrats.
From Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. And he's going to UMES, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, to do mechanical and computer engineering. So very, very proud.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
But then you went from 17 to 3. So you're a superwoman. Well, let's talk about you being a superwoman.
We're not going to gloss over that one.
We can't gloss over 17 and 3. You a superwoman.
So I will take that. I am the superwoman title. So yeah, so 3 years ago, we were very pleasantly dare I say surprised, but we were gifted with Samuel, who is an energy ball, and he just completely shattered my idea of motherhood. Like, if I thought, after doing my first son, that I was, I can do this, but a second child will show you. So I never imagined that 17 years would be the span between my two children, but that's how it happened.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And then you have like a technical 17, then you have a real techno baby. It's like you got he's 17 years. Yeah, he's technical too. But this little one you have now,
yeah, I mean,
he's a 21st century baby.
He took my iPad. Like,
wow.
I don't even have access to it anymore. It's his.
It's his. I love it.
He just claimed it, and it's just,
And we're talking about 3 years old. This is where we are with our 3-year-olds. They understand technology that much. Where they take devices and you're done with it. Don't even come and try to touch it.
Don't even try. Don't even.
And he can probably download apps, and he can probably work it a lot quicker and figure things out a lot quicker than me.
He probably can. And I try to diminish, or to decrease how much time he spends on it, because really he's an energy ball, so he really likes to be very active. But I don't, I'm not the same age. I don't have all that energy. So sometimes I'm just like, do you want the iPad?
Yeah. You just being a mother. You tired. I'm so tired. You're tired. You just being a mother. So tell us a little more about your educator. Because listen, not only you're not really educated, you're educated. Yes, ma'am. So don't try to gloss over that. Oh, that's me. No, you got 59 of diplomas. Tell the people. 59.
Thought it was more.
Whatever, Amadi. Okay, it's really not that many. So I did my master's and my PhD in English language and literature at Morgan State University. Go Bears! Um,
Mm.
and I am pursuing a second master's.
Wow.
With a 3-year-old.
With a 3-year-old, a 17-year-old, and you in. Oh my goodness, you're amazing.
It's well, you know, my master's and my PhD are in the same area, and you know, I love to learn. I love learning, and so I wanted to kind of switch paths a little bit, and so you know, doing a second master's was, you know, it just made sense to try to do that to help me be successful on the second path that I am, you know,
I
I've
just
now
love it.
begun. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just love that because there's nothing that makes sense for me even to get one master. Let's talk about that. I want to talk to you because you know I'm a bear too. One time though, that's it. Let's talk about that. And I don't know what it's going to be to get me to get the first masters. And you said the second masters made sense. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
so you know what? Um, like I said, no, I really do love learning. I
That's a
really
beautiful
do.
thing.
And while there's so much information online that we all have access to, there's still some information and some educational experiences that you are only going to get in a specific program,
You're right. It
right?
can't be simulated.
You,
I get
so
it.
so that was another reason. Honestly, it wasn't an easy decision to say I'm going to go back to school because I'm tired. You know, I just had this 3-year-old who was 10 pounds, and I'm not going to go there and go into all of that. But I'm tired. But at the same time, it was just, how do I say this? If Because my vision, which is in tandem with my mentoring program, my vision is to help more Black kids um staying in English. Yes, I have access to them in the classroom, but I also want to design programs for them. I want to work in higher education where I can really be a part of a team or lead a team that is thinking about the future of our Gen Zs and designing programs to meet them where they are. I mean, we have students coming who have gone through the COVID experience. They have been severely impacted by missed instruction or decreased instruction, lack of technology, all of these things that have already been identified in the media that have affected their educational experience. They're going to need some more support.
Yes.
They're going to need some more support. So I want to get ahead of that along with several other people who are thinking this way at Morgan, and you know, just create something for them to be that. I don't want to say, a cushion, but to just help push them up, to help them stand stronger. That's what I want to do. So being pursuing the second masters will help me to do that, because then it's going to give me access to certain rooms that I wouldn't have access to as an English lecturer. And
I
that's what I
understand.
want. I want the access so I can then be a part of the change agency.
Wow, that's 21st century thinking. Because this COVID, we're going to see the effects manifest maybe 10 or 15 years from now. Just like
Absolutely.
we're seeing now. People say, well, why the kids are so crazy? Because of crack 20 years ago, because of dope. We see the manifestation of broken families and
Yes.
chemicals. This
Yes.
is what we're seeing in our young people, and they're so aggressive and they have so many issues, but it comes from a chemical trigger. And so manifestation of not being instructed, the schools, especially Baltimore City schools, not being prepared for anything that, like we saw for the last 3 years, still not prepared
Yeah.
as it's commencing. And so we will see the manifestation of, and I hate to say it, people say, well, why kids are, but they're little dummies, because you allow them not to be educated. We're creating this. And so I love what you're doing, because it's next level. We have to think about, okay, how do we equip them from where
That's
they
the name
are?
of my group.
Oh, one hand. You're not going to get one hand, guys. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're right. Next level. That's right. That's the name of your group. Because we have to think like that, for especially with Black children. They already have issues. They already have these stigmas. We have to have things that will equip them to be able to spring into greatness.
Yes.
And for you to do that at Morgan with young Blacks, I remember matriculating there. That's amazing, and I love what you're doing. So tell us about Next Level. Look at me bringing up your stuff. Next Level.
Okay. Next Level is very, very, very special to me. Unfortunately, it was not birthed at Morgan. Well, it was birthed at Morgan, but it wasn't manifested at Morgan. Let me put it
there. We go. Because you can't give it all to Howard. I'm gonna give it all to
Howard. No. All right. So, in the classroom, you meet all kinds of students. And a lot of the times, if you don't take the time to get to know your students, you automatically will assume that, they're lazy, they don't really want to do the work, or just some other kind of perception that is not accurate. And so after teaching, I started teaching at Morgan in 2010. And I was teaching like different classes. It wasn't like I always had the same. So I would teach like a freshman writing course. I'd be teaching a research course. I'd be teaching a humanities course. So I'm saying that to say that I had the exposure of different students at different levels, or different what am I saying? Different. Not everybody was a freshman, for want of a better phrase.
Different grades or whatever. Right.
When
you're in school.
Right. And so even in that interaction, I found that every class, I would just have students who were having these breakdowns, and especially the freshmen, they were having mental breakdowns, and there were just all kinds of things were going on. And so after a couple of years, I was like, maybe it's not that they're lazy. Maybe, because I was guilty too. I was like, and coming from Jamaica, where
you gotta go get it.
You better go get it. You better go get it. I don't care what's going on with you. Or it's not that I don't care, but look, you have to push past what's happening with you.
Yes.
I thought that of my students as well. But after a couple of years, I was like, maybe something else is going on. And so I began to open up a little bit more to my students. I became more available to them, tried to talk to them some more. And then some of them began to confide in me. And I realized that these students were going through some really horrible situations that I did not have to experience when I was doing my bachelor's. And so from there, the urge, the unction grew to try and help them. But I was like, Renee, you're not a counselor. So, I would say, hey, why don't you go to the counseling center, and so and so and so. Anyway, long story short, after a while, I found that more and more students would talk to me. And I can't take all the credit for this. I can't take all the credit for the idea, but I was just like, Lord, something is going on here. And he was like, you need to start a mentoring group and help these kids. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. Nobody's going to listen to me. And I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, you're going to call the group Next Level, and you're just going to help these kids. You're just going to, you don't need, all you have to do is give them a space to express themselves and encourage them. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not even from here. Nobody's going to listen to me. That was at Morgan. I got all of that. I wrote it down, and I was just like, I'm just going to close this and put it away, because I never saw myself as someone in that kind of role. And it just never went away. It never went away. It just that desire just kept growing and growing. And then I left Morgan and went to Howard. And when I got to Howard, I was like, everybody here is going to be okay. I don't need to think about that dream or vision anymore. First semester.
Same thing.
I was
Same
like,
thing.
okay. you know, and then it got, I don't know if you've ever been, I don't know if you've ever had a dream and it's like you're so afraid of this dream, but then it's like there's something growing and it's so big, it's like it gets so loud that you can't ignore it anymore.
Yes.
That's what happened. I was like, okay. And so I went to my students one day in my class and I said, hey, would you guys be interested in, just having a place where we can sit and chat and just talk about, the college experience and encourage each other? Oh, yes. Oh my God, we would love a space like that. And I was like, okay, are you gonna lead it, Dr. Latchman? I was like, well, yeah, I was thinking, oh yeah, if you do it, we'll definitely be there.
Look at that.
I was like, okay. And so that's where it started. That's how it
Mm,
started. And that's how it ended up being at Howard because really I was so afraid. I wanted to help, but I doubted myself. I didn't know what to do. I've never been a part of any other mentoring group.
mhm,
I just wanted to, I really just wanted to help them because I always imagined that my son could be one of them. And I
mm,
always said, I want to keep planting seeds that when my son gets anywhere in life, I'm planting these seeds so that he will get favor. He will, there'll be someone helping him. So I'm like, I need to help and love these kids. And I treated them like my own. And so that was 2017 and it's
wow.
2022 and we're still going.
Oh.
Same young people?
So, some
Wow.
of the same. We started out with about 30 people, 30 girls. I had like 3 boys who wanted to come, but I was like, and the girls were like, if they gonna be there, we not gonna come. It's just for girl. I was like, so,
I
so
love it.
then, yeah,
That's
and
what we do.
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
So now I have a dedicated 7, which is actually a very perfect number for me. And these girls are my everything.
Wow.
They are, I have no words. I love them so much. And I got a chance to actually see them grow because one of them, sorry, let me start over. One, Sayorsha, Monique, Tori, and yes, so there were 4 of them who were in the same class together with me.
Okay.
And 3 of them passed my class and one of them failed.
Wow.
Oh.
And it was so hard for me to fail her because she was a very first person I went to with the idea. She was the first. I just spoke to her first, and then I put it to the class, and she's like, "Yes." And I mean, she's a beautiful, beautiful person, but she was, you working yourself out in college, and she failed the class, and she said, "Dr. Lashman, it's okay. I didn't turn in the work. There's nothing you can do. You can't make up the grades for," she was so nice about, because I felt bad, but I didn't have a choice.
Mhm.
And so she took the class again. Of course, she passed, and she is just amazing. She's an actress, and she's into theater production, and she is just a butterfly. She's
Mm.
Wow.
Yes. So I have my dedicated 7, and they showed their true commitment to the group and to the mission and vision, which I have to say Amadi here helped me articulate and just kind of put together for us. But over if when I because during COVID, I actually left the US in 2020, went to Jamaica for a year and a half. And the girls were like, "Are we still meeting?" Because we used to meet on campus like every month. We would meet,
Wow.
and sometimes they'd be like, "We need a meeting. We need a meeting." And we might meet 2-3 times a month depending on what was going on with the girls. And so during COVID, they're just like, "Well, we got FaceTime, we have Google Meet, we have Zoom, we have whatever." So we've been meeting the first Monday of every month since COVID.
Wow.
Look at that. Something that you said you weren't doing has manifested in something that you do every month. It's monthly.
And I'm telling you,
Wow.
yeah. And in the times when it was really rough for me and I couldn't lead, they led. They just led and they got up and these girls are powerhouses. And in fact, The girls that there's one girl now, she was the last to join. She's considered the baby of the group. She's still at Howard. Everybody else has already graduated. And the way that these girls have embraced her and support her and love her and have been carrying her through the college experience, especially with COVID, has been phenomenal.
Wow.
Aw.
Just yeah. It makes me cry actually. It brings me to tears because so many times as women we tear each other down.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these girls are building each other up.
Mm.
One of them is in Taiwan. I hope I'm saying it's Taiwan. I hope.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right now. And another one, we don't get to see her a lot. She has a lot going on with her family, but every time we have a meeting, somebody's able to tell me that she's alive, she's okay, and they spoke to her. So it's really eight of us, but because we don't get to see her much, I say the dedicated seven, but she was before COVID, she was always there. She was always there. So they really they encourage each other. They depend on the group, the support of the group, and when they're making major decisions. I mean, we talk about career changes, what they're going to do. One person is doing a master's PhD program right now. I have artists in the group, not just actresses, but artists, singers, painters.
Wow.
I have computer engineers in the group,
Wow.
anesthesiologists in the group, biologists in the group, teachers in the group. I mean,
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Wow. And you
they're
brought
amazing.
them together and provided a safe space for them to thrive and support each other. That's awesome.
That is awesome. I mean, I'm telling you, I would have loved to be a part of something like that. When I first got to Morgan, I was lost, literally. You're
Mhm.
literally lost, and then homesick, a lot of things. Not really homesick because I really wanted to leave, let's be clear.
Right.
But homesick because I didn't know anyone to do all the things I thought I was missing.
Right.
Out here in these streets, you know. When you're young, you're like, oh, I'm out of there. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Ain't nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we think it is. But I was, I could really have used that type of mentorship, and the relationship with someone my age who was supporting me. We say about tearing each other down. That's learned behavior. We've learned
Yes.
to do
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to teach now how to support,
Yes.
how to stand in the gap, how to be
Mm-hmm.
in space for each other. That is something we have to do, but we got to teach it. And
Yes.
because women don't just come after women, this is trauma. The
Yeah.
reason why we're acting this way, unfortunately. So I just love to hear these young people, and they're going to listen. This is a generation that's going to teach the next generation. They're going to continue this.
That's right. Because we have talked about what we want to do, like what are we going to look like in the future? And the girls had some ideas, they wanted to do some community-based things, but after COVID, that changed. And so now what we're really focusing on, based on the trauma that they experienced individually and with their family members,
Mm-hmm.
it really, we're doing a lot of building each other up right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they're also acting as mentors to other people in their lives.
Hmm.
So right now they're like, okay, let's just build ourselves up some more until we get a new vision for the next level that we want to go to. Because every time we talk, if somebody had a issue on the job, we're like, okay, you vented, what's the next level? Because I'm always like, you always think about what's the next level. It could be, I'm gonna drink more bottles of water each day, whatever it is. We always try to keep that in our minds, so that that it's always about going forward. But yeah, our vision right now is really just, or rather our mission is, we're just empowering each other in this space right now, before we go out and do anything else in the community as a group.
Okay.
Because COVID had really affected, it had done some trauma to some of the girls. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And all of the dedicated 7.5 and 8,
Did you
are
say
they, are they all from Howard?
They're all from Howard.
You said that like you didn't want to say it. I know. I get
No,
it.
no,
'Cause
no.
I didn't want you to say it neither. So I get it.
because
And
because
I love Howard, but no.
I do,
I
but
do.
I
I
feel
love
like
Howard.
I feel bad sometimes because it's like I got this from my when I was at Morgan. I don't have
Thank you.
anybody from Morgan,
But my thing is, are you going to think about taking it to other schools? I think well, I can't say what I think it should be, but I think that it
Right.
has enough to be able to, have chapters.
So I thought about that. Actually, in the initial vision, I wanted to be able to do that, but I didn't want the school to own the program.
Got it.
And when I at Howard, I actually went and spoke with some people in the counseling department, because what I really wanted to do was, once I get the students, for those who I've identified experiencing particular types of trauma, maybe some kind of abuse or something, I wanted to feed them to the counseling department, so that,
Mm,
because I know that I'm not trained in that area. I can love on you and accept you, but there's some things that a trained person can really know how to, better support you with. So
sure.
that's what I wanted to do. But then when I spoke with them, they were saying I would have to have a board, and if I leave Howard, I have to leave the program there. I was like,
Oh,
this is my
They
baby.
want to control. See, this is crazy. This is the this bureaucracy. This is why we don't help children, because of adults and all of their extra stuff. For real. Because a group that's supporting young women, now the school has to own it. It needs to be a nonprofit, so we need to see what you're doing.
Right.
We just don't. All the kids need help now.
The kids need help.
They need help now.
And right, and some of them, you know what, Queen, when I was at Howard, I'm telling you, and even at Morgan, all all a kid needs to believe some of the times is that you believe in them.
Yep, that's it.
They just need a little confidence, just a little bit, and they can go forward. And I'm not trying to excuse any of their behaviors, or, any lack of this or what they didn't do. I'm just saying there's a need that needs to be attended to. And I don't want it to be something that is owned by a university, not, and I still don't want that. And
Mhm.
so that's why I'm seeking a different way. To effect change in the university, hopefully at Morgan. And in terms, it's not that it can't become something like chapters, like a sorority or anything, but again, there's some hoops that we'll have to go through in order to achieve that, and I really just want it to be something less formal than that.
Sure, sure.
So I probably need to do some more research about how I can achieve that. And because we are open to adding new girls.
Mhm.
We had two prospective girls actually from Jamaica that we were going to add, and the girls were fine with that. And because the group is, they really they lay themselves bare in the group.
Wow.
So I'm actually very careful about who
Yep.
joins the group. We're very prayerful about it. And I really try to get a sense of who the women or the girls are before they come into the group, to
Mm.
protect everyone. Yes.
Wow.
We they lay themselves bare. And so that, because that's how a lot of the healing will take place.
Yes.
This is who I am. Can you still accept me? Can you still love me?
yeah.
Wow. So this is really a safe space. They're really
No, it
feeling
really
it
is. So
really
we
is.
can't, we don't, yeah, we're very, and that last student that joined, as I said, she's very protected in the group. And everyone doesn't know what the other person's trauma is unless they want that
Mm-hmm.
to be known. So, but at the same time, we don't want anybody coming in there to judge and be like, oh, well, you this and you that. We don't, that's not what we do in the group. That is
Got it.
not what we do. So, we are, the girls are, they told me about, one of them told me about another girl that they're thinking of, they'd like to recommend. No problem. So it's not like we're closed to that, but as I said, it's such a safe space that,
You
yes,
know,
Amanda.
I so I have two things to say. One, I would like for you to share the vision or the mission statement.
Okay.
And then, two, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
It just literally popped into my head when you were talking. And
Awesome.
what popped into my head was, I think you probably should go for a nonprofit status. Why?
Okay.
Because you get not only a lot of tax exemptions, but you can probably get a lot of grants.
She can get funding.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
can get
you
a
can get funding.
you can get a lot of funding, and
Yeah.
that can fund trips, that
Yep.
can fund presentations, that can fund
okay.
trainings and workshops that the girls can attend, that can fund
Okay.
Retreats. You guys need to retreat and come
Yes, we
together.
do. Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
all that could be covered by grants.
Yep.
Right. And that's a great idea because I've seen things that I want to buy for the group and I've bought books for them before, but I want more. I want to be able to give them more. So having
You
that
might want to do
nonprofit-
that when it comes to with the nonprofit thing. It gives you the ability to seek funding and also
Yes.
and have go ahead.
And not only that, but you know, the grant can come in the form of like, okay, you have to use this grant for a specific thing, and that specific thing could be free therapy sessions,
Yep.
or
Right.
you know, this psychotherapist is using cognitive behavior therapy, whatever.
Right,
You know what I mean?
You
So
can do like an in-kind donation. That can be like in-kind
right.
like things like you can use this. You get 24 passes to get massage
Right.
for
Okay. I wrote it down. And I'm gonna go ahead and see how I can achieve that for the girls. Definitely.
And then the university doesn't own it. And now, it's a nonprofit movement. You know?
Yes.
and you can hire contractors.
Yep.
To come in and facilitate different workshops or whatever, or even hire one of the girls to lead something.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the way you should go.
Okay. Well, thank you. I wrote it down.
I think so too. And the genius that you have in that group, you guys, because I'm hearing the young people that you have those. You have a lot of genius in that group. So you guys probably can grow exponentially with their thinking and how they want to build it out.
Yeah.
And also their own resources. They're going to know people who know people.
They do. Yeah. They do. Yeah.
So I love that.
Then you can actually turn it into a membership based nonprofit where, you know, there's
now you can get your chapters and they pay.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Listen, because mentorship is something that is hard to find that you really can feel safe. I mean, safe. And Black women, young Black women, we don't have that. So, you know, and I'm not saying that they have to pay $1 million, but to be able to keep it going, the resources make everything go.
Yes,
you know?
that is true. That is true. Indeed.
And there could be a theme for each. Look, like I'm the administrative assistant already, so there could be a theme for each month. You know, there's mental health awareness and there's breast cancer awareness, and then or whatever you feel comfortable talking about based on their own traumas that they've shared with the group. And each month can be like a rotating theme.
And the things that happen on campus. You know, we never got to talk about how, you know, sometimes the things that happen on campus, how the guys come through and how we are treated. And
I have heard
because when you're on campus and everybody got a little booth thing and you walk, you know, so that stuff get to your head when you 19.
Look, I had one of my girls when I was at Howard. Oh my goodness. She was talking to one guy and found out that her good friend was talking to the same guy, and she was just bawling, and it was just
it happened.
You know,
and guys are pimping up there.
So, and then which, you know, one had a good friend and she didn't do this, and it was, you know, and they could, as you said, you have the opportunity to talk about it. And sometimes I just sit there and listen, and I like them talk to each other, and they're like, you know what you should do. But if I hear anything outlandish, I'll be like, well, that might not be the best.
It's like they're taking it to the sisters. And
exactly.
I love that. I really wish that you ought to think about, you know, how you can scale it. I think
I definitely will.
Entity.
So here's one way to scale it. So NextLevel is not necessarily just for mentoring that intimate group of women, but also creating educational programming that you've opened up this conversation with, right? Because you're going to get your master's and you're trying to put in mechanisms for these very people. It's just maybe at a different point in their life that you're impacting them.
We're going to talk more about this off camera.
Right?
Because because
I
got
just saw
some things to tell you right quick, and I don't think the camera needs to hear that, but definitely, I think that this is very scalable. Black young girls, and even a lot of times when something happened with either Black boys or Black girls, it's emulated to the other gender in another way. And so even young men need it. It's just that maybe it needs to start with girls. Usually we start things and then they copy, of course.
Yeah.
But it's something that every young person needs. But Black girls, we hardly, it's nowhere to go for us.
And the thing with the boys is sometimes it can be hard to relate to what the boy is going through. Yes, the college experience can be there's some commonality there, whether you're boy, girl, or however you identify. There's a commonality in the experience, but at the same time, again, however you identify, if there can be a gap.
There's a gender movement,
right, and how I can reach you, and which is why I was like, okay, I'm going to start with girls. Because
you're gonna need a male for the boys, right? I think you need a male for the boys. I think it's important that men know what boys are doing.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying. It might not be something you teach, Miss Renee. I know you're raising boys, but I think you you might don't want to get into that hornet's nest.
Yeah,
what they're doing in college is gonna blow all your hair off your head.
I do not want to know.
I want you to be able to go back to Jamaica. They're gonna blow all the hair off your head.
So I know we kind of went off on a tangent. If you could share
the vision and mission. Yes. So our mission is to motivate, empower, and transform its members by providing emotional, intellectual, and spiritual support to stay on the path of constant self-evolution. That's our mission.
Love it.
And then our vision is to compassionately mold members to become inspired leaders who empower their peers and contribute to their local communities.
Beautiful. You are a writer.
Again, I will not take all of the credit. The Amadi here definitely helped me to articulate all of that.
Oh, she's a writer too. Oh,
I won't take all the credit. And our core values are sisterhood, personal growth and self-development, role model, being a role model, paying it forward, volunteerism, mentorship, and fellowship.
Oh, amazing. Man, I think we need that on a 50-year-old level. Can you wait a minute?
I know.
Wait a minute. Let's have a little talk.
Next level, senior level.
You need 20, 30, 40. I'm telling you, we all need mentorship. I tell you, never too old for a mentor.
That is true.
Yeah.
Every mentor has a mentor.
Yep.
I want to ask, so in the process of Next Level and thinking about it and resisting the message, the call, and up until this moment, what is something that profoundly impacted you, or something you've learned in this process?
I think that I am profoundly impacted by the many ways in which we exist as women, as girls, and having and being able to observe their maturation process for the last 2017 to 2022, that's 5 years.
5 years.
Right. That brought me back to moments in my own life that increased understanding in my own life and said, that's what it was. And it also helped me to release some things, because I felt like, well, I'm not the only person. And even though I'm like 20 years older than these girls, they went through what I went through, and they're, some of what I went through in their 20s, because they're in their 20s now, I'm going through that. So some of those experiences that I felt in isolation as I
Mm,
was experiencing them. I don't feel so alone
mm.
um, anymore. And then what I've learned is that love conquers all.
Ooh, yeah,
Definitely.
that's it.
And I mean not the emotion of love,
Hmm.
but the act,
The act of
the
love.
commitment,
The
that the
choice.
girls have shown. I'm
The,
sorry, what did you
I was
say?
gonna say the choice to love.
The
Yeah.
choice to love, right? That commitment where I just, there were someone that I just didn't want to meet. I just, and they're like, just come on, Dr. Lashman. I need, and I come on and I am completely just, they just pour right into me. And
Mm,
so I learned that I can learn a lot from them in as much as they can learn from me, and that I don't always have to lead.
Mhm.
And that was a great lesson because I was like, look, God, I have this homework to do. I have these papers to grade, and I need to go cook some dinner, right? And then go hang out with my husband, and I don't have the time. And then and they're like, just come to me, and I come, and they just pour into me, and I'm just like, but this is great. Why did I think that I had to do it by myself? Why did I have to think that? Why did I have to think that I had to be the one who was always leading?
hmm.
And so that was a great learning experience for me. That
Yeah.
was actually pretty good, very comforting.
I,
Wow.
I love that because when you create a space like what you're creating with people who are already going after changing their lives or investing in themselves, you're creating leaders. And so within that, what you're creating, sometimes you can just sit back and let them lead,
Yes.
and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
That
Yes.
is a beautiful thing that you can give and trust them that
I can. Yep.
they're going to
Hmm.
handle it because they love that group just as much as you.
They really do. They
They really
really,
do.
really do. It's a gift. They're a gift. The group is a gift, and it's
Oh
just a
my
gift that
goodness.
keeps on giving.
That is just beautiful. And how many times do we get to say that in our community sometimes? And,
Yeah.
and that's what's so important is we have to create these spaces that are gifts that keep
Yeah.
on giving,
Hmm.
especially for our young people.
Yes.
We've neglected them for a long time. We were neglecting, let's be clear, as young people, because
Hmm.
listen, we're the first generation that really can look at our young people and give them opportunity. We can hire them.
Yes. Yes.
We can be, we're the first generation doing things like that. and
Yes.
and so it's important now that since now we have more agency, even though it's still rough, we have to have these safe spaces and spaces where they learn to be
Yep.
greater
Yep.
because we understand how it is to be black. No one
Indeed.
understands. No one understands. So we have to be the ones to show them how it is to be. You can be anything because you can go to school for anything, but
Yes.
your blackness will show up.
Oh,
I
yes.
went to school, but my African came through the door first.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yes.
And I didn't know how to deal with it, Dr. Latchman, because
Yeah.
I went to Morgan State, which is which is
Yeah.
black land.
Mhm.
Around Morgan is black. The
Mhm.
neighborhoods are black. The
Yep.
teachers were black.
Mhm.
You walk on campus, you felt black. It's black.
Mhm.
And then when you leave there and got to go downtown and you're the only black with
Yeah.
your little educated self,
Right?
you're like,
What is How do I do this? How do
how
I
do
get
I do this? Because for 4 to 5 years, you look at a sea of black people.
Yes.
Everything is black.
Yes.
So
Yes.
people don't even know that the HBCU is a beautiful thing, but then that shock afterwards, you have to go like, the world ain't black.
Which
You
is
know?
why, I, not just my group, but
Hmm.
even in my classes, I would tell them America is not the world. Go in the summer, find an internship, go somewhere, leave the country. Do you have a passport?
Oh.
Get a passport. I always, 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 I encourage them to do study abroad with the school. That was I'm a big study abroad advocate, and I'm a
Mm.
huge, just big supporter of exploring options, opening your mind and exploring your options, because some of us will thrive anywhere we go, but we can't not but the opportunities that exist sometimes outside of our immediate comfort zone are just magnanimous, and you won't know if you never if sometimes you have to be prompted to do that. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's where
Very
you
true.
come in, and that's where the guidance of you, and you need that person who's done it before. Because just imagine a child in Baltimore who's never left the municipality of Baltimore and get in the Peace Corps and go to, let's say, Tanzania. It will change
It will
their life.
change. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, but when I grew up, I didn't even know anything about a Peace Corps, AmeriCorps. I didn't know about any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wasn't exposed to any of that. But I tell young people, it's so many things you could do now.
So many
And
things.
yeah, and then you get a stipend. You don't need the money that you think you need. We're so spoiled here. You think you need money for everything, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
need that money when you go to a third world country. That
Right.
stipend is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. I promise.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
it. I definitely love what you're doing. So
Well,
once you're
thank
done with this
you.
master's, are we gonna get a PhD in
Oh no, I
mentorship?
am done. No,
Look, she cut you off with that one. She was like,
No, I don't want to hear about that. PhD in mentorship. Let's move on. What else is you doing? I know Morgan said, "Here we go. Miss Renee is coming back." Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So this is school. This is it.
This is it.
Okay.
I mean, I might do like a program in mentorship. I mean,
Sure,
but not.
sure.
No, I'm done. I'm done with graduate. I don't want to do any more graduate studies after this.
Okay. And I think you have a winner here. Next Level is a winner. It's
Thank
a
you.
winner in my book.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is
Thank
definitely
you.
a winner in my book. I don't have you just gonna do, is it just college age? It's not anything younger. So it's just college, right?
For now it is. For now
It
it is
is.
just college. I am
Okay.
open. I don't like to close myself off. For now it is. And if I feel led, if I get the vision for anything or anybody else in the group is like, hey, let's try this, I'm open. I'm open.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So mother that has boys, do you have this group because you just want to be around some girls once in a while, sis? Just tell the truth. Just
That's
tell the
funny.
truth.
No,
You got a husband, you got boys. You're like, I need some women around me.
wait, and
All these boys.
I just got a dog and he's a boy too.
Oh my God. What was you thinking?
I
Wow.
and I really want a girl. Anyway. Not anymore.
That's what I'm
I'm
like.
done
Do
with
you
that
want to be
too.
around girls?
I'm done with it. No. You know what? When I was growing up, I really wanted to have like a sisterhood. I always wanted to be a part of a group of girls who I really trust and felt supported by and who loved me and who I could just be myself with. And while I sought that and I pursued that, I don't, as an adult, I definitely don't feel like I got that. I mean, I had friends, but I would have loved a space like what I started with these girls. I would have loved a space like that. Just absolutely loved, and I never got it. So, that was a part of it too. That was kind of post, you know,
Retrospect.
yeah, in retrospect, I was like, this is what I want. Yeah. But really and truly, this was really birthed out of these people need somebody to talk to. They need some help. And I don't mind telling them, you're a star. I know you can't pass the class right now, but it doesn't mean that you're a failure. English is hard. I just no.
It doesn't mean you're a dummy. Just come on back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
We
No,
all fail the class though. Everybody fails a class. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to support. I really did. That was really where it came from.
Well, I'm sure that they're so grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like what you're doing, and you seem to have the attitude for it because you have to have patience. I mean, you gotta have patience. You seem to be very humble. Cause see, I have to drop some F-bombs on them. Like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
So you seem to have that nice, humble attitude that you can. Cause sometimes these young people, you like, listen,
I, and I've had to do that with them in class. In the group, though, I haven't had to do that. Surprisingly,
Good.
no, and the only thing I will say is, like sometimes they might, if they're talking about um a response to a negative situation or an ugly situation, and they be
Mhm.
like, well, I'm gonna do this, and I'm just like, okay, are you done venting? So what are you really gonna do now? Because that can't be what you're gonna do if you're a part of this group.
Ooh.
So that's kind of how I approach that, dealing with that kind of behavior, because we're human. I do it too. I want somebody to pull me up and be like, excuse me, miss, that is not okay. Are you done venting? You have 2 hours. And I even tell my son sometimes, I'm like, okay, you have 2 hours to sit down and feel sorry for yourself, and then when you're done, you can come and you know we'll talk about what you're going to do next. But I'm not that great when I'm doing it for myself, though. I'm really bad when it comes on to,
But
but
I see you can do it because I saw you sit up. And that's what mothers do. They sit up and they give you that look like, listen, I saw you. So you have that in you because you have to.
you have to,
You have to.
So, but I want them to be able to. I don't want them to feel like they can't talk about certain things when
Mhm.
I'm there, or
Sure.
that I'm going to think differently, So I really do try to allow them to just express themselves freely. The most
Sure.
important thing for me is that before we leave the room or we hang up on the call, their attitude towards the situation has changed and they
Mhm.
have a different plan for how they're going to address the situation. So that's what I make sure once we're leaving, they know that this is what it is. And then we check up on each other. We check up with, they'll be like, well, did you do it? Yeah, I did it. I really wanted to cuss her out, but like we've had several messages like that.
We hold each other accountable. I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
They
love
they
it.
are they're very, very good at that. I have to say they're very good at that. So.
But I have to know, have they ever had any squabbles amongst each other and you had to put a fire out? Have you ever had those issues? Because sometimes women, we get at each other.
Well, not that I know of.
Oh, excellent.
Not that that's what not I'm thinking. I'm really, really thinking. No.
Mm,
I mean, if it's happened, I didn't know about it. If
that
it's
is really amazing.
what I will say is I think because of how we started and where the girls are coming from, because they were all in my class together, at least three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then but they were also at Howard at the same time. So they met, and then I think because everybody feels like the other person won't judge them, if I get mad at you, Queen, and I'm like, well, Queen, I don't think you should have done that. Amadi's like, well, you shouldn't have like it's never happened like that. They will just say, well, Queen, I don't think that you should have responded that way. And I love you, and I'm saying this with all the love in my heart. And they usually approach it like that. But I don't know of any squabbles that have taken place. And I feel like I hope I would know.
Right.
I really hope I would know, because they do also speak to me individually. So even
Mm-hmm.
though we're in a group, sometimes depending on what's going on with them, they'll reach out to me, but nobody has ever complained. They've only called to say, I'm really concerned about so and so, or maybe maybe we should do this for that person, or that's the only thing that I would say I've experienced. But thank God, no squabbles so
That's
far.
beautiful. That means it's a lot of love over in that group. It's some
It
love up in
it
there.
really is. It
Mm-hmm.
really is.
Because
Mhm.
even siblings love each other to death, but they fight. And
I
so
don't I
it's
don't
a
know if that's gonna change. They're in their 20s now, so
oh,
anything is possible.
but they're in their own. They're not in the same spaces anymore. So
No, they're
when they
not.
see
They're
each
in
other, they
different
appreciate
states.
that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They're different
Hmm.
states, different countries. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, you guys are everywhere.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Marty, anything you want to ask?
Do you have anyone out of the country that's a part of the group?
Yeah. Well, so she was already a part of the group before she left the country.
Okay.
So she's in Taiwan now working as
Oh,
an English
right.
teacher. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. But nobody else yet.
Okay.
Nobody else yet. She's teaching English.
And the time change hasn't affected her
She's teaching.
commitment.
You know what? I was so sure because when she told us that she was gonna go, we were excited and everything, and we're like, just stay in touch. We didn't really expect her to be able to come to the meetings. She even changed her phone number, and she still came to the meeting.
Look at that.
Wow.
She came to the meeting when she was on the train commuting to somewhere. I was just like, okay, Lord, I know this has nothing to do with Renee Latchman. This has all to do with you and your light because it can't be me. While this girl is all the way in a different country and she's still coming here, and so I treasure that. I really take it
Yes.
seriously to
Yes.
be there for them and to support them. And that to me is, I'm just like, okay, that's not me. That's something else.
She feels really safe with you guys. When you do that and you're somewhere else and you're trying to get to where your safe space, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's excellent, man.
Mhm.
I would love I want to meet these young ladies. I want to see who
Okay.
they are. I
Okay.
do. I want to
Okay.
see the lucky seven. Yes.
No problem. I'm sure they will be. They're talkers now. They can talk.
Listen, that's what we do. We talk.
So anytime you're ready. Anytime
I'm
you're ready.
I'm telling you because I would love to hear from them. Like, what is this thing? How's this thing make you feel? How do you feel about the girls around you? How do you utilize it in your life now? How are
Yep.
you applying it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we see how things are working in our young
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So I would love to meet them. Renee, we're gonna talk off camera a little, but definitely
Okay.
we gotta
Have a part 2, maybe.
yeah, we gotta have a part two. We gotta invite the girls in.
I would love that. That would be great. That would
Yeah,
be
we can do
great.
10 spots. So we can invite some of them. Yeah, definitely. No, we see 7 and 3. Oh, 7 and 3, that's 10. Look at that. Lucky, lucky, lucky. The little half that Diamati alluded to, the half can't come.
The half. I don't.
She called her 7.5. I'm sick of her. Like it's a midget.
I didn't mean it. I meant it respectfully.
Yeah, I know you did. But I had to say something. But listen, this has been amazing. I love that you did this. I really wish it was something that I could access when I was those
Me
ladies'
too.
ages and when I was in school. I know I would have done it. People say sororities, but that's another movement.
That's another movement.
That's
Yeah.
another movement you have to pay for. You have to be picked. That's a whole lot of
Right.
extra.
That's a different. Yeah.
That's a whole. This is
Separate.
just sitting around other women and growing with them. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we need. So I really love what you're doing, and I just
Thank
hope
you.
that you think about scaling. Take some of that education and scale this group. Damn it!
I wrote it down. I'm gonna do it.
I love it. I love it. I definitely love that. So listen, you got to leave a jewel with the people. So leave Renee Latchman's jewel.
Oh.
Jewel. Jewel. Jewel.
That's right, jewel.
Oh my gosh. You're
Leave
putting me on
something
the
nice with the
spot.
people.
I think I just think that we need to practice more love.
Mhm.
And when I say love, just more accepting each other and supporting each other, because the truth is we're all stars. We are actually all stars. We're all beacons of light.
Yeah.
It's just that some of us, depending on what has happened to us, our light has been dimmed, and we need some help. We need help to shine brighter. And so for me, I would just charge anyone listening with a mandate to, you know, help someone else's light to shine, because the moment you do that, you actually cause your light to start shining without you actually, trying to do it. By
Mhm.
helping somebody else, it's like you're fueling your own light.
Mm,
So we need a lot of light in this world. Too many things happening
that's
with
true.
our people, with our girls. And so just the love and shine your light.
That's it. Love it. Love it. Anything you want to say? FiTT?
FiTT just dittos what Dr. Latchman said. That was well said.
And TWiNZ, yeah, and TWiNZ diddles. I got one hand, and TWiNZ diddles. I can't do two hands, but I'm a diddle too. Because what you're saying is so true. We need love and light in this world. We got a lot of dark stuff going on, and it seems every day as it's getting worse. It's unfortunate. Humanity has to do some reassessing of itself.
Yes.
Yeah. We gotta realign. So listen, this sister circle has been beautiful. I felt like we are the next level with the gray hair. We're the gray hair next level today. Let me see. It's some up in here.
I have some too, but the light might not. I don't know.
The light is not here. Yeah. Some under this hat. So we did next level today. We support each other. We talked about something.
That's right.
Talk about something that's very important. I'm gonna tell you something. I just love Black people, but I love Black women because I'm one. I absolutely love Black women. I love to be in space with Black women. I love sharing with Black women, and it's been an honor to be with my co-host, Miss Amadi. She's so special.
She is.
Oh, she's so special.
Very special.
And I'm so happy to be in space with her to do this and to bring someone like you on, Miss Renee. I'm honored. Thank you for coming to the box.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so we are boxed up and out. Can I get some deuces from my next level? Oh, there. Don't go nowhere, ladies. I'm just gonna end the broadcast.